What is this hollow kind of helplessness I'm feeling? This type of terror is new.
So we are here with Noah Ricketts. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. How have you been during this quarantine time?
I've been good. I've been fine. I feel like we've been in it so long that it's like you have no choice but to adjust.
Right.
So I've learned to settle down a little bit more than I ever have before in my life, and I'm getting used to it. I'm enjoying the relaxing, believe it or not.
It's weird to think that over half a year ago we were doing like all of those Zooms for Broadway Dreams.
I know. It's like, yeah, we're coming up on right at a year, I think, right?
A year since, well,
Like
yeah. I don't remember when they started.
maybe around May or something like that, March, April, May, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so it's like it's so weird, like, even that day that that marked, like, what was it, March 12th that Broadway shut down, I'm like, I love time hop, so, like, I've got the app on my phone, and I, like, religiously look through it, and I was like, "Oh my god," like, that feels like another lifetime.
I know.
It's so strange, so I can't believe we're still in it, and I'm ready for it to be done, but, what are you gonna do?
Is there anything fun that you've been doing or starting to learn over quarantine?
Well, I did learn how to make candles, and it's much harder than I ever thought. And now I understand why they are so expensive sometimes because it's it's like a hard process. Like the
It's a
temperature,
long process.
it's a long process, it's a hard process, and it requires like a lot of stuff. And like I learned it takes like so much perfumed scent just to get like a hair of scent out of a candle.
Yeah.
So I learned candle making. What else? I had a big tie-dye phase, which was really good. I'll probably get back into that since it's warming up. I tie-dyed everything. Underwear, socks, like shirts, anything that was tie-dyeable, it's tie-dyed now. Um, what else have I been doing? Oh, I've been getting back into my reading. I have like a long list of books like people have suggested to me in a notes section on my iPhone, and it's just been like racking up. Like, I mean, it's like years long. So I have actually been deep diving into that, which is really, really good. And I will buy books and like think I'm gonna get to them. And now I've actually been getting to them. So that's a good thing.
That's exciting. That's me with television shows, although I haven't done too well with getting to all of these
Well, there's a lot of TV to watch. It takes a lot of time.
series and stuff that have come out. But I'm glad that your quarantine hasn't been too boring.
Yeah.
You have been on the Broadways a few times, so I want to chat a little bit about that. Did you make your Broadway debut in Beautiful? Is that
I made my Broadway debut in Beautiful about 2 weeks after I got to New York City. So that was pretty crazy. Like I I got the show in a day. Like they needed someone really, really fast. I was up for actually before that Cinderella on Broadway. And
oh,
yeah, I was sure that that was going to be my first Broadway show. It was to be in the ensemble and then to cover the Prince. And I was like, this is going to be the one. And then got down to me and two others, and I didn't get it, and I was bummed. And then the next day, I went in for Beautiful, sang 5 songs that I learned overnight, did a 2-hour dance call, had to reverse all the choreography I'd learned. The next thing you know, I was in a fitting, that lasted 3 hours, and then cut to my agent calls and says, "You start tomorrow." And like all of a sudden, I was on Broadway, and I literally didn't even know my way around the city. So that's how my Broadway debut happened. It was like lightning fast. Three
so
days on Broadway.
what was it? You talked a little bit about the audition process. Was this also an audition process where you got the call and they were like, "Hi, they need you tomorrow," and
Yeah,
then you went in, and then it was like, "All right, sweet, we'll see you in rehearsal."
it was like, and now that I've gotten a little older, like I've realized like those are my favorite because sometimes audition processes can be so long and like they end up confusing themselves and you get confused because it just is like around and around and around. And so when they're really quick and dirty like that, I'm like, great, count me in. Like, he's right, good, boom, sign the check, let's go. So yeah, it was a very, very quick turnaround. Like truly, I was in rehearsal the next day. And then I was supposed to have about a week's worth of rehearsal, but someone hurt their knee. So I had to go on with 3 days of rehearsal. So I didn't even know the show. I was thrown onto a Broadway stage. Like all my friends came and I was so stressed, but I made it through. I made it through.
What a fun Broadway debut.
Yeah, super, super fun. And it's a great show. Everybody loves it. Moms really love it. So like seeing them
Yeah.
out there smiling, everyone sings along. The jokes are amazing. Like it's a very special show. Yeah, I'm so happy to have that be my debut for sure.
And after that, you did Frozen, which you were the understudy standby for
I was
Kristoff.
Yeah, I was the understudy for freaking everybody in that place. No, I did understudy for Kristoff first and actually Pavi, which is a rare known fact about me. A lot of people don't know I did that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I probably went on like maybe like 10 times in the course of, the whole production, but I did understudy Pavi and, I was like the miniature version because he's usually 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And he's like a super bass, so I had definitely had my own rendition of Pavi. Like he sang things up the octave. He was
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that for him. So
yeah,
but you understudied Kristoff, and then you replaced Kristoff for once Jelani left.
I did
Um, what was that like getting to move from this?
getting to move from
Yeah,
to the it was a really, really crazy, crazy time in my life. Like, I think a lot of people have like the misconception that I was just asked to do it. And although it was like, we think you'd be great for this, I had to re-audition with all of New York, with all of my friends and all of New York, LA, Chicago, everybody. So that was a weird and interesting process. And it was one where I knew that I had outgrown the position that I was in. Like I knew I could understudy, and that's something that I always wanted to do because I really do believe in trajectory of Broadway career and like the building blocks of it. And so I felt like, if it's not this, I had decided in my mind, I'm gonna leave the show. Like I'm gonna move on. So it was a crazy time, and I was vocal about that to them. I was like, "You guys just want to let you know where I'm at. Like, sometimes you got to make leaps and fly." And that's how I got frozen in the first place, was just leaving tour and with nothing under my like nothing lined up. So it was a crazy process. And so mine went like this: like I had to. At first, they were bringing me in for Hans again, which I was up for originally, and Christoph. So I was learning both material and that was fun and whatever. And then they asked me to do two things really. I had to come in and re-audition like in the room. So like I did, before. So like 40 people in a room, cameras. I actually read with Patty Murin. She was my scene partner. So that, we knew each other very well by that point. So it was very funny. And then the weirdest part was when I got back in the room, I had to work with an invisible reindeer because I was used to having a reindeer at that point. So I had to work with an invisible reindeer and mime my own choreography. And Patty was just laughing the whole time because she's like, "This is ridiculous." And yeah, it went super well. And then actually after that point, what they did was they put me on in the show. So they swung Jelani out. They put me on a Wednesday matinee, and everybody came to watch me do it live, like on stage. So I had a 2-part audition. It was on the same day. So I played Kristoff in the room with no reindeer. Then they all gathered their things. They walked to the theater, a couple blocks down the street, watched me do it live on Broadway for an audience of 1,500, and then after
casual, just.
just casual Broadway audition. And then after that, the director pulled me into a little private room and was just like, I just want to know, like, can you do this? Can you hold the show up? And I looked him in the eye and I said, I can. I absolutely can. And Frozen's my baby, and I helped create this thing, and I can't wait to bring it in as a principal in this next year. And so the stars aligned. I got a contract and had to be quiet about it for like 8 weeks, and everyone was like, "Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then sure enough, the Playbill article came out, and I was Kristoff and Frozen on Broadway. Actually, this guy right here, that one.
Hey, you
Yeah, so
did though. I got to see you. Oh my goodness, I think I saw that show 4 times. Well, intentionally yet unintentionally, because I was trying to catch all the Broadway Dreams people.
I used to and Ryan and yeah.
Everyone. And I don't think I actually ever saw I think I only saw you as Kristoff. You were like my Kristoff.
Good.
So,
I hope so. Great.
fun stuff. Um, and I am so sad that Frozen will not be returning, but luckily the
Oh.
tour will be returning.
Yeah, and the tour is great. Like the tour, I didn't get to see the tour on the road, but I got to go to the final like rehearsal,
Mhm.
just in the room without all the costumes and stuff. And I actually have seen a number of Broadway shows that way, and I highly recommend it. It's super duper fun. Like I saw On the Town without costumes in the room, like final run through. And it's so great to see a musical stripped down because before they put all the glitter on it, it's great. It works. It's bare bones.
Mhm.
So I got to see the Frozen tour that way, and they were so awesome, so full of energy. It's like a whole new breath of fresh air. So yeah, that tour will be out all over the country, whenever that'll be. And
Yeah.
I'm just so excited that people get to see it. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah. Sometimes seeing a show like stripped down is really fun. I was able to listen to Hamilton auditions with just the
Oh yeah.
piano, and I was like, I almost like it better.
I know it's like
Like,
unplugged. It's like like the unplugged version.
well, so you've done 2 Broadway shows, many more to come.
Yeah.
What got you into the theater realm? What started
So
that?
yeah, it was a total accident. I was like a sports soccer kid, so I used to like travel with like a little like soccer team, and we used to compete. And I would go to the YMCA soccer camp every summer. And then seriously, one summer before I was supposed to leave for camp, my friend Ashley, she was like, the town adventurer, so she brought over her new skateboard, and she was like, "You should try this." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." I got on that thing and ate it hard, like ate it so hard. I broke my wrist. I was like in the hospital. It's a mess. I can't go to soccer camp. I'm devastated. And like my mom's like, "Well, you got to do something because like I got to go to work." And I'm like, "Well, So she's like, "There's only one place that'll take you, and it's this theater camp." And it was called Broadway Boot Camp, and that is literally how I got my start. I got pushed into theater camp. I refused to go, and she was like, "You got to go." So I
Mhm.
went. And I was in this place, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like there was like, they were handing me sheet music. They were like with dots on it. There were people singing, there was people dancing and stretching. And I was just like, I seriously felt like I traveled to another dimension, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then like everyone started collectively singing and in harmony. And I was like, what in the is going on? So that summer like changed my entire life. We were doing a production of Schoolhouse Rock live, and I played Joe, and I was singing Conjunction Junction, and I had that cast on my arm, and like you could tell me anything, and like that was it. I had the theater bug, and I was totally obsessed after that. Like watching the YouTubes, I started taking the lessons, dance lessons, theater, everything. And so it was truly my broken wrist that got me into theater, and I have never stopped singing and dancing from that day. So there you go.
Well, thank you for breaking your wrist. We're very happy that you did.
Good, good.
So glad that you were here. So I want to chat a little bit about Broadway Dreams because we are coming back. We are back in action. I want to chat a little bit about Broadway Dreams and how you got hooked into Broadway Dreams and
Oh my
teaching
God, what a
there.
good question. Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, Broadway Dreams is an amazing nonprofit organization that connects Broadway stars with emerging Broadway talent, and the recipe is amazing. And so I got involved with Broadway Dreams because in college, it was sophomore year of college, I was living with Greg Camp, so like one of the OG kind of members of Broadway Dreams, and we broke for winter break, and I was home in Kentucky, and I get this frantic call from Greg that's like, "Hey, what are you doing like this day, like these couple of days?" And I was like, nothing. It's winter break. I'm just like eating food." And he was like, "Do you want to come to Omaha, Nebraska? We need a pianist." And this is another fun fact people don't know about me. Like I've played piano for my entire life. Like since I was like this big. Once I got bitten by the theater bug, I started taking lessons because I was like, I want to know how to do it all. So he was like, "Will you come to Omaha and be our pianist?" And I was like, "Sure." And so they sent me like a Dropbox full of music, like a huge stack of music. So I was like learning all of that. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane and I'm at my first Broadway Dreams. And it's like me and Paul Kanan and I think Nicholas Rodriguez and Tyler Haynes and a bunch of people I had never met. And we were putting this show together and I was just the pianist. And so it went super well. And they're like, hey, we actually have to do the same show in Philly. Do you want to come? So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to Philly. So we went to Philly. And then they were like, we're doing the same show again in New York. Do you want to come? I was like, I guess I'm a part of the family now. So I started with Broadway Dreams as a pianist, and they had no idea that I sang or was an actor or could dance or do anything. They literally thought I was a pianist. And so one day we do the show. It's done and whatever, and we're chilling in this barn, and everyone's drinking wine, and I start playing piano, and I start singing Christmas songs, and they're like, "You can sing?" And I was like, yeah, like that's what I sing. And they were like, why did you not tell us this till now? I'm like, you never asked. Like, I don't know. Like, and so from that point on, I became faculty and started teaching and, all sharing my Broadway expertise and all that. But yeah, that's how I got involved as a pianist, like a very long time ago.
Well, I'm also very happy that that was able to happen because that's how we met. We met through Broadway Dreams. And if anyone has any questions about Broadway Dreams, you can follow them at My Broadway Dreams on the Instagrams.
It's the best. And I will be there this summer. So I'm very, very excited.
Super exciting. It's going to be so much fun. I think the theme this year is reboot, I think is what it is.
Oh, is that the theme? I don't know.
I don't know.
think
It's something like that.
Human connection, because we'll be back in person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it'll be fun. And you're also through quarantine and stuff, you've been teaching private lessons as well.
I'm still teaching privates, which is really fun. I had such great teachers growing up, and like I was super lucky to have such great teachers that kind of ushered me through my whole life and even into my career. And so I think it's really important to give back and teach people like what's happening now. And I think, one of the things that frustrates me about a lot of faculty at musical theater programs or at high schools, it's that a lot of the faculty is really out of touch with the way the industry actually works and what's actually happening. So I like to give back in that way, to be like, hey, I'm a person that's actually doing this, and I can also teach you how to do this. And so, yeah, I really enjoy teaching. It's very, very fun for me and all my kids. So it's great.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for Broadway to come back. I hope that it comes back in the way that it should. I know we had talks about, inclusive casting and all of that good stuff. And so, I hope for a year from now we can meet on, in person and record our conversation, and that Broadway will look a little different and a little more inclusive this time around. That's the only thing I have to say.
Yes. And while we are still in this short little intermission, I ask that if you have and you are able to please donate to the Actors Fund. They've been doing a lot of stuff. You can also watch Stars in the House, which usually their donations are for the Actors Fund. But yeah, donate to the Actors Fund. We'll throw all that information down there. And we'll throw all of your social media and following and stuff down in the box below. So make sure you check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. It's great to see you, as always.
You're what I